is our Ohio County FCS agent who will actually be doing both lessons today. And then Brianna Alvey is our Webster County FCS agent now. Yes, they have an agent. So her goal is to kind of boost the homemakers back up in Webster, so just give her time. She's gonna do great, so we are glad. Yeah.
Give me details.
So, our other agents are not here. I know one of them has state fair assignments, and I don't know about the others, but, restrooms across the hall. We are gonna be recording, so just remember whatever you say out loud is gonna come up on the video that we will then put on our YouTube channel for y'all to be able to use for your clubs. So I'm gonna hit record and turn off the first bank of lights and let Kelly get started.
Can you give me some copies?
Yes, and I will go do that right now.
For both of them.
We'll edit this too.
It's all right. It's all right. So good morning. This is going to be your September lesson, and it is Culinary Connections, and it's part 1. And so we have 3 different objectives that we're going to learn about today. Our first one is we're going to recognize how eating a variety of fruits and vegetables provide personal and community health benefits. So in your handouts, there's a handout called Handout. That's the notes I'm going to be reading off of. It's really good. This handout is full of notes. Sometimes a facilitator's guide has the notes in it, but this design was that this one is the handout. So did you know that eating a variety of foods is not only good for your nutrition, but also for helping farmers, nourishing the land, and reducing waste in our food system? So by learning how to eat those, and will help us learn how to provide the personal and community health benefits. The next learning objective is we're going to learn to classify fruits and vegetables into 3 families by name and characteristics for increasing selection opportunities. So this will help you, by learning the plant classifications, it's going to help you pick new produce that is similar to the produce that you already like. And then learning objective 3 is incorporate new produce selections into personal menu selections and plans to increase the consumption and variety. So we're going to talk a little bit about the community and personal benefits first. So first is we're going to do an introduction. So we'll go around and we'll start by you telling us your name and then your favorite fruit or vegetable. And do you know what family that food belongs in? So for me, my name is Kelly Bland. And my favorite vegetable, we were talking about it, is broccoli. I love broccoli. I don't love the stalk of the broccoli. I am a broccoli crown person. But I know that that is, I believe, in the cruciferous family. And so we're going to learn more about that family today. Would anyone else like to share their name and favorite vegetable or fruit?
My name is Edna McCready, and I think my favorite is fresh corn.
Fresh corn. Yum. I love good sweet corn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you know what family it's in?
I just know it's a veggie.
Very good. Hey, that's great because some people don't even know that food group either. So that's good that you know it's a vegetable, and we'll learn about that.
By the way, I think Myers have them this week, 4 eaters for $1, and they have been the best. I have bought it several times and cut it off. It's the nicest sweet corn.
Wow, that's good to know. Anyone else want to share what their favorite fruit or vegetable?
I'm Laurel Fan, and my favorite, I will have to go with sweet corn and raspberries.
And raspberries, yum.
I'm Marty Craig. I believe my favorite is peaches.
Pete, do you know that has been my new obsession with, I got some peaches at the farmer's market from Reed's.
And they're really good.
Oh my gosh, they have been the best peaches, so sweet. Yeah, they've been really good this year.
And aren't peaches a palm, P-O-M-E, isn't that the class of?
I don't know. We'll learn that.
Okay, cause that's mine, so I was gonna say.
Peaches are
Olive
yours
oil.
too. Very good. All right. So I'm gonna back up a little bit because it wanted us to talk about the learning objectives a little bit further here under the personal and community benefits. So I'm gonna back up to this for a second. So under objective 1, where we talked about we were gonna recognize how consuming the variety of fruits and vegetables provide personal and community health benefits. Some of the ways that it does that is through nutrition. You can eat a variety of foods by substituting within families, in particular those we do not typically eat enough of. Another way under that is biodiversity and benefits to farmers. By varying our diets, farmers can grow different crops so one disease does not wipe out an entire field of food. You know, as consumers, we don't think about that. You know, as we're driving around and see rows of corn or soybeans or whatnot, that one disease could wipe out that whole crop of corn. And normally, if you know, we say your neighbor is growing corn and a disease pops up, it came from somewhere. It just doesn't randomly pop up. So if someone's field of corn is wiped out here, that's probably something that's going to be wiping out a lot of our neighbors and a lot of our farmers' fields. So that's something we don't think about. So by varying our diets, that has the farmers growing a variety of things, so those things can't happen. It says when we eat a variety of foods, it allows farmers to protect their hard work and their investment in their land. There's environmental benefits. Some food family members help farmers in reducing chemical inputs like fertilizers because they fix nitrogen in the soil, while others might attract insects that eat pests, which allow farmers to use fewer pesticides. And then reducing waste. Cooking and eating multiple foods from the same family uses up produce in our homes, thereby reducing the amount farmers, grocery stores, and shoppers throw away. Some other advantages that you may feel in your own kitchen: vegetables with similar textures and structures tend to cook the same way. So if you want to know how to roast broccoli, or if you already know how to roast broccoli, you may also now know how to roast Brussels sprouts. Planning meals based on food families can help you shop seasonally, which helps you budget and can even lower food waste if you are using up all of your produce. And if you want to cook a recipe and find out of a fruit or vegetable listed, substitutions are easier if you know the families. And we're going to talk about that here in a moment. If someone you know has an allergy to a fruit or vegetable, it is beneficial to know the entire family for that produce, because they may be allergic to other members of that family as well. So then under the objective 2, it was about classifying fruits and vegetables into 3 families by name and characteristics for increasing selection opportunities. So learning plant classification can help you pick new produce that is similar to produce that you already like. For example, naming plants is simply a way to organize them into groups. In this case, to scientifically classify the distinct characteristics of plants. Plant scientists assign several layers of botanical names to plant based on their species. And then categories may be used for biological study, culinary uses, or gardening. Depending on your use of the names, the number of categories may change. Also, not all scientists agree on the requirements for each family, and we learn more about the plants as we research their DNA. So you may see different lists depending on your source. So in this lesson, we're going to explore 3 familiar vegetable food families through the lens of cooking and culinary uses. Similar characteristics can help with flavor, but also with growing and cooking techniques. So plants were initially grouped because they have similar physical structures, particularly in their flowers, for example. Cruciferous vegetables like kale and broccoli have cross-shaped flowers, hence the family name cruciferous. If you want to add them to your garden, plants in the same family often have similar growing needs in terms of soil, sunlight, and shade, and in the amount of water. And so from a culinary perspective, sometimes particular combination of foods work well because they are in the same family, for example, cucumbers and melons, tomatoes and eggplant, and broccoli and cauliflower. So we're going to talk about the main three classifications. I'll go back to the other slide here in a moment. Before we get started, I am going to hand these out. This is the food family quiz, and you should have these for your participants as well. So we are going to take this quiz. Oh, I'm so sorry. Walk right in front of your camera. So, oh, you are, okay. So as you all, I'm going to let you all have a few minutes to guess your food family quiz answers, and then we'll go over it together. So don't look ahead in the handout. And then we'll go over the answers. So before we go over the answers, we're going to talk a little bit about the food groups. So alliums are commonly known as the onion family. They include things like chives, garlic, leeks, onions, and shallots. The characteristics of them are, as we know, underground bulbs and long flowering stems, with a pungent sweet flavor depending on the variety. Culinary uses, you can use them raw, roasted, sauteed, sweated, and stir-fried. So trivia, it says deer and rabbits tend to avoid alliums. Yeah. So what is your favorite way to use things from this family?
Cook with it.
Yeah.
I don't usually eat them raw, but especially stews and soups and everything, there's always onions.
Onions
garlic in it.
are really nice at enhancing flavors. They really are. Or even pickled, like I love me a good red onion that's been pickled on sandwiches. Oh, I love that. Anyone else have a different way that they may use it? I like to think also about onions. I'm not a big, honestly, I don't like a lot of onion, especially raw. No. So when I do cook with it, I have to chop it up small just so that, you know. But I do like me an onion that's been fried. Like a bloomin' onion or an onion ring. I will eat it that way, yes. What about characteristics of alliums do you like? I've never thought about the characteristics of an onion or garlic or onion family. I'll tell you one thing I do like. Green onions, after you use the tops, you can stick them in a cup of water and they'll re-sprout again. So for $1 at Walmart, you have a plant that will re-sprout again. So after I use my green onions, whether it's on, usually I use those fresh, like on soups or chilies or, baked potatoes or whatnot. After you cut the green part off, you just put it in a little bit of water just to cover the bulb at the bottom where the roots are, and I sit it in my kitchen window, and then I've got green onions. They will regrow. Or you can plant them. You can put them in a pot, but I just keep them in a cup of water right there on my windowsill. That's a characteristic I like of those. Yeah. And I love me some garlic, and that's in this family. Garlic and onions are great ways to flavor your foods. Great way. Is there anything you dislike?
The smell when you're cutting onions.
Yes. Yes, and unfortunately there are no tips on how not to cry.
I've heard lemon juice.
Okay.
I've not tried it, but I've heard lemon juice.
And I've also heard like stainless steel, like if you can rub your hands on stainless
I know
steel.
it helps to wear glasses whenever you're cutting them, because if I don't wear my glasses, I'm crying.
Yes.
But wearing the glasses is a little bit of a protection.
I'm going to tell you another thing I dislike about this family. I dislike that you can never trust an onion, no matter what color, because sometimes they're stronger than other times.
Yeah.
You know,
Hard to know.
it is hard to know because they all smell like an onion, but it's not until you cut it open to know if you're going to have death by onion or not. I don't like that either. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I like when you wash your onion, and then I keep washing the onion every little bit,
Uh-huh.
and I leave the water running
Uh-huh.
while I'm cutting it up, and it doesn't make me cry or
I have
anything.
never thought about doing that, and that is washing it every once in a while as you're
Yeah,
cutting
just
it.
keep, yeah,
Because that's helping, because the stuff that's making you cry is the oils and the juices that are released from that onion, the mist and all. That is a great idea.
it works.
That's a good tip. I'm gonna try that next time. Yeah. I will say, I do cheat a lot, and I buy the frozen chopped onions, and just when a recipe calls for them, I just throw a handful in and keep that bag. Or if I'm cutting an onion and I don't need the whole onion, because onions nowadays are like this big, and you don't need a whole one for your recipes, I will continue to chop it and stick it in a freezer bag and put that in the freezer.
That's the part I don't like about them. You don't use much. That's a good thing. It doesn't take much to flavor it.
Right.
But also, they come in bigger
Yes.
quantities.
Yeah, so, a lot of our older recipes say one small onion. Well, there are no small onions anymore. There are no small onions. So, yeah. So it's nice to have it already in your freezer. You can buy those in the frozen. If you don't want to cut an onion, you can buy a bag of frozen onions, chopped. You can buy chopped green peppers, and they're usually about $1, $1.25 a bag. And I just keep them in the freezer and throw a handful in, and that's plenty usually to flavor up your meat or whatever you're cooking it with. Yeah. All right, very good. So the next food, okay. My best friend Google had to help me with this, and apparently there's 2 ways you can say this word. Asteraceae, Asteraceae or Asteraceae were the 2 ways that you could say it. And that was consistent across the board, that those were 2 ways. And it wasn't like this is the proper way and this is how, no, it was 2 ways of how you could say this word. So you're supposed to put the emphasis on the ray in the middle. So it was Asteraceae or Asteraceae. So these are commonly known as the daisy family. And this includes things like lettuces, artichokes, endive, chicory, sunchokes, which I've never heard of a sunchoke before, sunflowers, chamomile, dandelion, and tarragon, all in this family. Characteristics, clumps of tiny flowers or florets, ordered or whorled leaves, WHORLED, whorled leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, like the dandelion leaves.
That was interesting.
I didn't do nothing. Oh, wait. What is that?
said, please no IT trouble today.
My apologies. Okay, well, it's the skinny version now. We're talking about veggies. It's skinny. Culinary uses, raw, braised, roasted, boiled, steamed, or steeped. And the name Asteraceae comes from the Greek word for star. I guess the aster, but that comes from the Greek word star. So mix up what you cook and eat them raw, even for more differences. Would anyone try cooked lettuce?
With bacon?
I've seen them do it.
Bacon
Oh,
grease
like
over
wilted?
the
Yeah,
lettuce.
yes. I didn't even think of that. Thank you. Yeah. Briar Patch has the hot bacon dressing, and it does come out a little bit wilted when you do that. Yeah. I didn't even think of that. What about raw kale or dandelion leaves? I think I've had raw kale on a salad. I don't know if
It's good raw in a salad.
Yeah, because kale salad's chopped usually.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever mixed a more bitter leaf vegetable with mild for a mixed flavor or texture? Yeah. If you've ever bought the bag or I think normally at Walmart, maybe it's in that clear box container that has all the different colors.
Spring mix.
Yes. That's what that question made me think of, because some of those are a little bit more bitter than the other ones, you know. But yeah, so Asteraceae or Asteraceae. All right, so the next one is crucifers or brassicas. And this is commonly known as the cabbage family or the mustard family. It includes arugula, bok choy, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, horseradish, kale, kohlrabi, radishes, and turnips. The characteristics are firm bunches of leaves or flowers known for a strong smell, especially when cooked. Loved for hot peppery flavor, contrasted with sweetness, and they are known as nutrient powerhouses. I do know when I taught for NEP, we always encouraged you to get some of your dark leafy greens. Good sources of iron and other vitamins and nutrients. Culinary uses, raw, steamed, roasted, sauteed, fermented, and stir-fried. The name kohlrabi comes from the German words for cabbage turnip. That's your little trivia there. So, which of the brassicas do you feel best about eating or providing to your family? Cauliflower. Yeah, it's a good neutral thing, you know, with taste, and you can doctor that up and it doesn't really, well shoot, you know, now it's rice and pizza crust and all that other stuff,
I
you know.
got purple cauliflower in one of my CSA boxes, and it
Ah.
is beautiful. It
Yeah.
is the prettiest color purple, and it tastes just like cauliflower, but it's just,
Yeah.
I eat a lot of raw cauliflower with dip.
Oh,
And
yes.
so, I don't know what it tastes like cooked, but it's, when I first got it, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, eating purple cauliflower.
Yeah.
But it tastes the same, just close your eyes, and it's like eating white cauliflower.
Nice. Yeah. And I've seen orange cauliflower
Yeah,
too.
I've seen
Yeah.
orange, I haven't had the orange,
Yeah.
I got, twice I got the purple in my CSA box.
Nice. Nice. Do you use cauliflower and broccoli interchangeably?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, but I feel like they have two different tastes, you know. But yeah. Are they better cooked until soft or still slightly crunchy?
Slightly
Crunchy.
I don't like them
I like them. I don't like mushy
I don't like
either.
mushy cauliflower.
I don't like mushy.
broccoli.
Period, really, unless it's potatoes, you know.
Or green beans.
Especially
Yeah.
in our family, that's a big disagreement.
Oh, really?
Because I do like my broccoli and cauliflower cooked until they're almost mushy and
Really?
the kids are like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I like a little crisp left on them. Yeah.
I'm
How
good
about-
at it.
How about some of the other, I know we've talked about broccoli and cauliflower, and broccoli probably is one of the most popular ones in this food group, but what about some of the other ones, like, has anyone had bok choy?
Yeah.
So that's a Chinese cabbage.
Chinese.
Yeah, and so a lot of times if you have gone to some of our restaurants, you've probably had bok choy and not know it. And they do sell it in our grocery stores, so it is something that you could buy for yourself. What about cabbage? Anyone? I love cabbage. I love it raw. I love it cooked. I love cabbage, and cabbage is not a very popular. And Brussels sprouts. I love me some Brussels sprouts.
I think Brussels sprouts have kind of made a reemergence because they're serving them in a lot of the high-end restaurants as roasted.
Yes.
People are trying them
Yes.
roasted, and I think you see a lot more Brussels sprouts on. I don't like steamed Brussels sprouts at all.
No, but I
They
like
steam
roasted.
when they cook, I don't like the taste, but
Yeah.
have me some good roasted ones, oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. All right, I'm gonna go back to the one slide. No, story circle. So, we won't do it today, but I did wanna make you all aware of this activity. So, this is just a chance for you to go around to your clubs and share stories. Things like what is a new fruit or vegetable that you've tried, maybe that you'd like to share with your group. What stories do, after everybody goes around and shares, what do the stories have in common? What parts about them were different? So this is just something that you could do as your club to help kind of get some conversation going about some new fruits or vegetables that people may have tried, that others may, just like you sharing your story about your onion and how you cut it to help. I mean, I didn't ever think of that. So I'm going to try that. So stuff like that. You know, it's always nice to learn from each other. So I did want to go back.
Question,
Yes.
what about your outer cabbage leaves?
What about them?
Ever do anything with them?
I mean, you can. They tend to be a little bit tougher than your inside. And depending on, like, did you grow it yourself where you know you didn't use pesticides or anything? You still want to make sure you wash them and take care of them. But when I buy from people that the grocery where other people have handled it, or farmer's market where I don't know what they used, I don't eat the outside. But you could if you did it yourself, you would know everything about that cabbage.
Looks like the outside pieces, if you were gonna wrap meat or make something like that, they would be bigger and stronger maybe.
Yes, yeah.
It's just
You would have to cook it. I would think it would be very tough for you to eat raw. Yeah,
Unless you chopped it up real fine.
yeah.
I think they taste stronger too, the outer leaves, because they're darker and I
Yes.
think they have a stronger taste.
Yeah, yeah. They've had the opportunity to soak up more of the sun to, yeah. All right, so we're gonna talk about menu and meal planning using the families. So as always with meal planning, and this is something else we used to teach with NEP, you always wanna take inventory of what you already have at home. What do you already have in your fridge? What is somebody giving you? What do you already have? And you wanna plan your meals around that, because not only does it make meal planning easier if you can see what you have at home, but it also saves you money in the long run. And it also helps with not having any waste or anything like that. So another thing you wanna do is you wanna know what your food family, know what foods you can cook with, and use similar techniques to allow for more flexible substitutions. Knowing what the seasonality of each vegetable family allows you to buy them at their peak for maximum flavor and often at a discount. Now is your time to go to the farmers markets if you're not going. The cool thing with our farmers markets in all of our areas is those farmers pick those fruits and vegetables within days of coming to the farmers market. Usually the day before going to the farmers
Ours
market.
do the day of, a lot of them do
Yeah,
day of.
that morning, yeah.
It's daylight.
Yeah, and you cannot beat that because of a lot of our foods that are fresh in the grocery stores were picked a while ago and stored and shipped there. Where when you get it at the farmers market and it's fresh, it's picked at the peak of their freshness.
And it
They're not going to
stays-
They're not going to pick something for the farmers market that's not ready to be eaten.
And it stays forever, cause
Yeah.
my CSA box, I'm like, I had fresh romaine that kept really fresh. I had cabbage in my refrigerator that's been there like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's still been fresh.
Yeah.
Because it's so fresh when they pick it.
Yeah.
And I hate to have to go back to grocery store romaine now.
Yeah.
Even though it stays longer than the bagged lettuce and everything, that
Yeah.
fresh stuff, oh my gosh, it's amazing
Yeah.
how long it keeps and how fresh it stays.
Yeah, and for Kentucky, things are going to start slowly going out of season. Unfortunately, all the fresh farmers market, the traditional things. We still have things year round: cabbage, broccoli, whatnot. Still spinach, but the zucchini and the cucumbers and the tomatoes and the peppers and all. Now's your time to check out your local farmers market and get some of that stuff for fresh. If you love a particular food that has a short growing season, make double of the dish you love and freeze half of it to enjoy later on at a different time. And then exploring food families will help you remember to incorporate different fruits and vegetables into breakfast and snacks. For example, if you like butternut squash, use it in a breakfast hash or bake it into whole grain muffins. I never thought about putting it in whole grain muffins. So then there's some benefits of meal planning. When you meal plan, you can step back and see where you can add more fruits or vegetables to your meal plan. Using the food families, you can vary your meal plan to keep your typical dishes exciting and refreshing, yet approachable. Buying in bulk can sometimes help you save money. And menu planning allows you to use more of one item than buying it for a single recipe. And people who meal plan and cook at home can save money, avoid eating convenience and fast food, and usually eat more fruits and vegetables. And then if you receive a food item from a farm or neighbor with a garden, you'll know what to expect and how to cook the items, even if those foods are new to you. So let's go back and look at that family food quiz now that we've talked about all the different families. So for number 1, known for its cross-shaped petals if allowed to bloom, this family includes a lot of cool weather superfoods. So that cross-shaped flower was your clue to your answer. What do you all think it was? That's right.
My clue was the cold weather. 'Cause
Cold weather,
also
yes,
cold
you're
weather.
right. Yeah, yes. Most of our cruciferous
Cruciferous.
vegetables are cold weather vegetables.
What are umbrella flowers?
I don't know. That is probably in part 2. This is just considered part 1. Yeah. I'm gonna guess that word has something to do with umbrella or something that,
Yeah.
like the shape of the leaf or something. Look at us all Googling. I love you all.
It's plants in the parsley, carrot, or celery family.
Okay, all right. So they do kind of come out like a
They get their
shoot.
name from,
Go ahead.
They get their name from umbrella-like flower clusters called umbels, where tiny white, yellow, or pink flowers spread out from a central point.
Nice.
Includes common food crops, herbs and dangerous wild plants.
Ooh,
That's not.
no. That makes me think, I saw a shirt the other day that says, all plants are edible, sometimes just once. Thought that was so funny. Okay, number 2. Thank you for looking that up, everybody.
That includes carrots, parsnip, and celery. Did you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah.
Parsley, dill, fennel, or some herbs, caraway, and Queen Anne's lace. You know that?
All right, so the white stalk of this member of the allium family is edible up until it starts to turn green.
I put leek.
I put leek.
Leek, that's right, yeah, leek. All right, number 3, this member of the Asteraceae family is often thought of as a weed, but the leaves, buds, and blooms all have culinary uses. Dandelion, yeah, dandelion. And number 4, garlic, a member of the allium family, may be broken down into cloves. But what is the entire grouping of cloves called?
B and C.
Yes, that's right. B and C, a head and a bulb. Did I ever tell you all of my garlic story? Okay. My mom was a single mom. She worked until about 5:30, and by the time she got home, it was around 6. So a lot of times when I was a teenager, and I mean like 13, 14, I would start dinner for my mom. We every day when we got home from school, we called her, because that was the 80s and 90s, or 80s, so we were latchkey kids. So we called her to let her know we got home. And she told me one day, we were having Cornish game hens for dinner, and she said, I need you to put a clove of garlic in the Cornish game hens and start baking them in the oven for me. Okay. So when my mom got home, the Cornish game hens were done. My mom took it out, and normally we cooked 2, because it was my mom, my sister, and I, and my mom would cut the Cornish game hens in half, and Heather and I would each get a half of the Cornish game hen. So my mom cut the Cornish game hen in half, and there was a whole bulb of garlic in it, because I didn't know what a clove was, and the pack was 2, it used to come 2, I don't know if they still do, 2 in a container. So I put 1 in one and 1 in the other. And we still to this day, my mom will say, just a clove, 1 clove. My mom will still do that.
A lot
to
of
me,
people
but
do that, because
Yeah.
they don't
know, no. And it tasted fine because I didn't peel it. She didn't tell me to peel it. So the whole bulb had skin and all on, and I shoved them up in those little Cornish game hens. Thank goodness I didn't peel it, because it tasted that. You know what? That might be why I love garlic so much now. But yeah, that's my funny cooking story, my garlic story. But yeah, I did. I stuck the whole bulb in a little Cornish game hen. Yep. All right, so we talked about that and the menu planning. So these are some more resources if you wanted to learn a little bit more about what the ones we talked about today. There is a lesson 2, and I think it goes more into some other vegetable families and fruit. But right now that was the end of this lesson. Does anyone have any questions? I do have. Where did I put? Oh, they're up here. I do have the evaluations. Yes, go right ahead. If you all don't mind filling them out, so, and I'm gonna send this to the specialist so that they know how it went over.
What do pomegranates taste like?
Oh, I love
I like the seed.
Yeah.
And drink the juice, you don't eat the whole.
Yeah, those are really good.
I don't know how to describe the
The
taste.
juice.
And you only
It's just-
eat the seed.
You
Yeah.
just eat
Or
the
you can
seed.
drink the juice, which
Yeah.
tastes like a cranberry grape.
Yeah.
That's
To
a
me,
good,
it kinda tastes
yeah.
like cranberry grape
Yeah,
juice.
cranberry grape combo.
But the seeds you just use on salads or vegetables.
It just gives you a
and
little
stuff.
pop
They have
of
a real-
juice,
They
yeah.
don't have a real distinct taste, they're just pretty.
Yeah, they do have real pretty colors,
Yeah.
the deep red color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are winter crop.
knocking them out,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
take something.
So
But
when
put
you
'em- you put them under, you put them in water, don't you, and then the seeds
You
rise
can,
to the top,
but
you cut 'em and.
I've learned that, so when you see it, it's almost got like peels almost. It has that shape. And you can cut, when you see the shape, you can cut here on the outside when you cut it open, because these edges are usually a little bit raised, so you know where to cut. So if you cut here, where the raised parts are, it kind of sections out, kind of similar to an orange, in that it'll have sections, and then you can, over a bowl, flip it upside down and just kind of bend it so that the seeds all pop out. You'll still have a few that need help, but I still do it into a bowl of water because some of the white membrane, it's firm, it will float to the top while your seeds sink to the bottom, and it just makes it easier to get all that stuff out. Yeah, yeah. But they'll be coming to your grocery stores in the next couple of months because they're winter fruits.
That's a good idea.
What did you do? Oh, it's coming.
Yeah. Oh, no, we're good, we're good.
No, I've never eaten without it.